Welcome to SFCN coverage of Spanish Fork and Salem Hills. We are underway, and up first for Spanish Fork is center fielder Nick Roberts, and he looks at a strike right there.
It's a very cold April 16th Thursday here.
Might be an understatement.
Salem Hills, but still beautiful for baseball nonetheless. Swing and a miss.
1-2 pitch coming up.
Brandon Crow alongside Mitchell Marshall with you on the broadcast today. Fouled and out of play. The Skyhawks for Salem Hills come in wearing the ever so fancy retro-like jerseys, reminiscent of the Astros, wearing your fan favorite baby blue pants. And Spanish Fork down in the gray and red. There's a ground ball to short. Long throw, not in time. Nick Roberts is aboard with an infield single.
A little bit of a slow roll. Easton Talon picks it up, can't quite get the out at first, but ground ball is something you want to see. And
brings up Devin Argyle now, the second batter in the Dons lineup. The DH, the 5'10" junior, steps into the plate. Step off the rubber. Look Roberts back at first. Roberts a little bit of the running threat, as with every leadoff hitter. That offer low and in the dirt. The 1-0 pitch gets by the catcher, and Roberts is safely aboard second, and he'll take a free base on that pass ball.
I don't know if there was anything on there, but Roberts he had quite the lead, and he made that move pretty quickly. On the bump today for the Salem Hills High School Skyhawks is Riley Pierce. The way he was described to me is a power pitcher.
Power pitcher.
That's all he wanted to say. He kept joking. He wouldn't tell me how hard he actually throws. But
we can get a guesstimate.
The jokes went into the 90s, so I'm going to guess he can hit those mid to high 80s. And he's a tall guy. Usually get a lot of force. Man, those stirrups, I can't. Good looking on a mound.
That tall reach gives an extra whip factor from the mound. And there's Pierce, and he delivers again another pitch in the dirt. And Roberts is safe at third. Roberts showing off his speed, cat-like reflexes, taking 2 bases on 2 balls that got away at the plate.
Can be a huge factor if you can do things without having to be at the plate.
Now with nobody out, runner in scoring position, and Pierce's pitch went so fast, I honestly didn't see that ball. But it was Leland Slaughter, the home plate umpire, called it a ball 4. And Devin Argyle is aboard. Ryan Golish is your batter now. The 6-foot senior, third baseman.
Spanish Fork threatening early with men at the corners, and Spanish Fork's been struggling a little bit late. They lost on Tuesday to this Salem Hills team, but from there, over their spring break, they headed to California and went 0 for 4 in the tournament, all against very good teams. And a little throwback over there just to check on the runner. Got to worry about speed after Nick Roberts advanced himself all the way to third using his speed and watching those defensive mistakes. But Spanish Fork looking to get back on the right track. But they're still 4-1 in region play. Still definitely bright things ahead. And every coach he talks to just says that they are a dangerous team. Low right there, and that's how the first few pitches have been for Riley Pierce. He's It's a good place to work, especially if he can continue to get ground balls, but not hitting the strike zone right now. And his coach is going to come out pretty early and see if he can get the throw in right. And also, when you have men at the corners, there's a lot of different calls, and that might be something that's confusing between the catcher and the pitcher. Might just say, hey, we're going to focus on throwing strikes, or he might say, this is what we're going to throw if a pitch gets away, or if they try and make a move to second, because that's a great distraction for a guy with speed at third like Nick Roberts to get himself home.
We're going to take this a second to give you the rest of the defensive lineup for the Skyhawks. Sam Collister behind the dish, Cooper Smith in center field, Easton Talon at short, Tanner Hamblin in right field, DH today, Colton Lindell, Jesse Rope, third baseman, and Lakota Centeno at first, Jake War in left field, Ty Bennett is your second baseman. And of course, as you mentioned, Riley Pierce on the mound. And Riley and the Skyhawks, runners on the corners, nobody out. Top of the first inning, 0-0 ball game between the Dons and Skyhawks. Here's Pierce's offering, grounded in between the hole on the right side, and that brings in the first run of the ball game. Nice piece of hitting right there, Mitch.
Nice piece of hitting, and the second baseman, Ty Bennett, just a little bit slow. You can see the ball come over here, and it's not too fast. It's at a good spot, but he just didn't react in time to be able to get a good play on that, and now we've got first and second, nobody out, an early lead for the Spanish Fork Dons. Now up, Matt Creer. That's the man you want at the plate with 2 on and nobody out. Your cleanup man, pitching today, plays a lot of first base as well. Riley Pierce doing a good job of being aware of those runners, and he'll visit with his catcher again, but first inning's the time to make sure that the communication is happening and limit the damage.
However, and wherever you are watching this game, thank you for letting us be a part of your day, and thank you for being a part of our day here at SFCN 17. Riley Pierce and the Skyhawks down 1-0 early. Pierce and Creer takes low and in the dirt. So far, Mitch, in this top inning, Pierce has missed a lot of pitches low and in the zone.
He is. He's throwing hard, and he's throwing low, which can be low risk, but he's definitely not able to hit the strike zone yet, and he's got to be careful about trying to elevate the ball because the Spanish Fork likes them high and hot, and they'll take advantage.
This ball hit very late by Matt Creer. Fouled down the very wide, I might say, foul line between first and the dugout for Salem Hills.
Foul line, a popular place here for fans. Hopefully they brought their gloves because
standing room only.
Wicked shots down there.
Runner at first and second. Pierce looks him back. Creer shows bunt and bounces it back to the backstop.
Unexpected move from your cleanup guy. Something might be helpful, or get your guys in scoring position and maybe get yourself to first. Creer, that ball came in pretty hot and pretty high, and he just wasn't able to handle it. A little disappointed himself there.
A lot of room on this field here. Backstop very big. 340 down the lines, 360 in the power alleys, dead center 380. Here comes Pierce, misses high. And that's something we haven't seen from Pierce yet today. Creer waits. And Creer calls time just before Pierce's motion came home. Now, when you're up in that batter's box and that pitcher's taking a little bit longer than you'd like, it's hard to get in your rhythm. So Creer throws his hand up. Leland Slaughter awards him the time. Steps out of the batter's box, collects himself. And here comes Pierce. Up the middle should be 2. They get 1 at second, but they do not get Creer at first. So it could go down as a sacrifice in the books, moving the runners over to third. And we got some outs.
Check out the replay right here. You see a nice exchange from Ty Bennett over to Easton Talon, but good hustle up the base path by Matt Creer, able to beat out that throw, and also Lakota Centeno pulled off the bag a little bit there just by the late throw, making sure he gets a hold of that.
That brings up the catcher, McKinnon Jarvis. McKinnon Jarvis, as well as Matt Creer, one of the more powerful, potent bats in the lineup, batting fifth. The 6 foot, 190-pound senior takes that first pitch from Pierce as a strike on the inside part of the plate.
2 runs already in, a minute at the corners. Good for Pierce to finally start that bat out with some strikes.
So here's Jarvis, the 0-1 pitch from Pierce. Runner goes, the pickoff play is not in time. They had the runner dead to rights, but with that threat at third base, they didn't want to give up another run, and so that hesitation led.
Huge part of practicing in baseball is situation, 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 and that's something you see a lot, and you want to make sure the run doesn't score, but it's a tough decision to make in the split-second time.
So 2 runners in scoring position for Jarvis. And Leland Slaughter says that one crossed on the outside part of the plate. 2 strikes.
2 strikes on the 316 hitter here in McKinnon Jarvis, and he wants some RBIs.
That one misses high in the zone for a ball. And here's the offering from Pierce. Low and in the dirt.
One thing coaches told me about Pierce is that he throws hard. He does have a changeup and a curveball, but with that hard throw, he's crafty and he can paint the corners. And so far, he's been rewarded for that. At least a couple times, he's been able to get the ball up.
Pierce trying to craft something here. Ground ball routine, and they get the out, but a run crosses the plate. And an RBI for McKinnon Jarvis. That brings up left fielder, one of my favorite names, not only in all of baseball, but I feel in all of sports, especially in this region, Jason Money. I don't know how much better you can get of a name than that.
Coco Crisp?
Coco Crisp?
I don't know.
2 very, very fancy names for baseball players. And Money swings and misses at the first pitch from Pierce. That's one thing we haven't seen Spanish Fork do yet, is swing at the first pitch. Usually they've been taken until they get a strike in the zone or something around there. But Money just having the green light right ahead, and he swings again. And Money is quickly down 0-2 to Pierce.
Generally a very patient team. Wouldn't be surprised to see J Money work his way back, but when you've got men on base and there's 2 outs and you want to be part of the rally, you want to increase that lead, he's swinging. And he watches that one go by high.
High and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Money. Top of the first inning, Salem Hills Spanish Fork. Pierce is offering. You can see the velocity definitely picked up on that pitch.
It did. Got away from him a little bit, but also means Money has worked his way back into this count.
2 pitch. Right down the middle, and Money goes down looking. So strikeout to end the inning for Pierce, but not before Spanish Fork tacks on 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Skyhawks of Salem Hills look to grab their bats and answer in the bottom half of the inning here on SFCN 17. That brings up center fielder now, Cooper Smith. And Cooper Smith takes that pitch from Creer for a strike.
So 2 pitches, a nice strike right down the pipe, and an out. So can't start much better. Creer wanting to protect that lead that he helped to build.
Creer had an RBI ground out in the top of the first inning to help bring one of the 2 runs across the board. A big looping curveball breaks over the strike zone. 2 strikes on Smith. Just misses on the outside part of the plate. 1-2.
Be interesting to see if Salem Hills gets to get a few looks at Creer.
Here's the pitch. Low and in the dirt. I'm sorry, the count is full now. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped in the air, is playable if anybody can get to it, and that ball drifted out of play.
Taylor Harrison was a little late on the break there, but he got his wheels on him just a little too far. Pretty big area of grass outside of that foul pole there.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, it must be once you get past the part behind first base where the grass meets the dirt in the shallow right field, that just opens up to a field of foul territory. 3-2 pitch, grounded to short. Oh, glove does not stay down. Ball trickles through to the outfield, and Smith will take that.
Tanner Argyle coming in hot on that ball, just tries to drag, and got to make sure you know exactly where that glove is. Sometimes it's better to get in front of it and hope you can get up with the arm. He was going for the running gun, a pretty play, but you got to make sure you stay in front of that ball first and foremost.
That brings up shortstop Easton Talon now for the Skyhawks. Talon takes that first pitch from Creer about knee-high, not knee-how, knee-high for a strike.
Beautiful pitch. Creer with a very quick motion from his set. He'll look back, make sure Cooper Smith doesn't get any ideas over at first. He's already seen speed affect this game on his side. Wants to make sure he limits the damage of letting running get him to have some runners in scoring position.
A bunt attempt for a strike, as no contact was made, and the bat was not pulled back by Talon. So 0-2, and Creer has a couple pitches he could work with. Let's see if he likes to go right after him, and he just misses on the outside part of the plate. Missed not by much, as a couple of the Don fans say, I don't know where that one missed.
It's a good pitch.
And there goes the runner. Throw down to second is not in time. And a strikeout for Talon is recorded.
Not a bad throw from McKinnon, and just placed to the left rather than the right. Not time for Walker Jones to be able to pick that and then turn and try and tag.
Tanner Hamblin swings and misses. Big cut from the lefty.
And at Tanner Hamlin, three home runs thus far this year. A kid with some height and some power.
Creer looks back at second and comes right back with another fastball on the outside part of the plate and another big hack from Hamlin as he swings and misses. No balls, 2 strikes to the big man.
Hamlin hitting .373 with power as a team. The Skyhawks are hitting .383, and they've started out so hot this season thus far.
Low and in the dirt, no throw. And Smith is aboard at third.
Creer, a commanding presence, made sure he knew what was going on. That one just rolled a little too far up the base path, a risky move from Cooper Smith, but he gets himself even closer to getting his team within a run.
Hamlin stays alive, found that one back and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0. Spanish Fork over Salem Hills in the bottom of the first inning. Creer misses low and in the dirt.
Bounced around a little bit. Came off of Hamlin, back off the catcher, but McKenna Jarvis able to keep it in front of him, make sure that no risk for that Cooper Smith coming in from third.
And that ball misses on the outside part of the plate. So tip your cap to Tanner Hamlin, who started out 0-2 and now has worked his way back to a full count, making Matt Creer work on the mound. And here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses low and in the dirt. So Hamlin is awarded a walk. And quite not bad for Hamlin.
It was, as much as
Deuces is his nickname, as he wears the double deuce on the back of his jersey. And Creer steps off.
believe it or not, hitting 366, one of the lower averages in the lineup for the Skyhawks. So
I wish my intramural baseball team had that low average. And that ball is ripped into the gap. To the wall it goes. 1 run will score. Here comes the second run. And chugging on his way to second with a stand-up 2 RBI double is Colton Lundell. We got ourselves a tie ball game, Mitch.
tie ball game in one swing of the bat. This is the first pitch. We've seen some great strikes down the middle, and that's the first time I think someone really saw it, was able to put a good bat on the ball. Nick Roberts does a good job of chasing it down, but that hit in the perfect gap, rolled to the fence, and then Tanner Hamlin, like a gazelle, long legs, made his way around that base path. He slid it home. Didn't need to, but I like the effort.
And that ball is high and drifting. Should be playable, and it is. Nick Roberts makes the catch to end the inning, but not before the Skyhawks soar back and get 2, thanks to a 2-run, 2-out RBI double by the big man. Deuces, Colton Lundell. Don't go anywhere, folks. More baseball action coming up right after this on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to the SFCN coverage of Salem Hills and Spanish Fork baseball. We're tied at 2-2, and just to let you know that this broadcast is made possible by the Car Guys. You can find them at thecarguysut.com and MVP Sports, and they of course sponsor our MVP of the game, MVP Sports, a fantastic destination for you to go and get your custom uniforms and all sorts of sports paraphernalia. They do a great job. We're very thankful for them.
Taylor Harrison leads off the top of the second inning for the Dons. The right fielder, 6 foot, 160-pound senior, takes that pitch from Pierce low and in the dirt for ball 1. Some lingering apocalyptic weather from Tuesday appears to be swirling back around. We got some ominous clouds in the distance towards left center field. The wind is blowing from that direction. Big swing and a miss from Harrison. Hopefully we can get this game in before any inclement weather comes our way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the offering from Pierce, fouled and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Harrison.
Harrison hitting 237 on the year. Looking to get himself back on track, and I think he's pretty focused out there. I think a lot of times you forget about the weather, unless maybe you're standing in right field, for a long inning. But
big looping curveball misses from Pierce on the outside. And some contact is made. Can of corn, and that it is. Tanner Hamlin with the catch. Almost looks like he was doing a little dance move as that ball was doing the salsa up in the air with all this wind.
The wind took it a little bit, and it came in on the hands of Taylor Harrison, and he still got quite a bit of pop out of it, but not an easy one to track. And Hamlin was playing pretty shallow. Does a good job of finding that one and doing what he has to do to get that out.
Tanner Argyle, the shortstop, takes his first pitch he sees from Pierce low, but for a strike, down 0-1. Here's second pitch in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Tanner, of course, the brother of DH Devin Argyle, the Argyle brothers, not wearing Argyle socks, by the way.
They should consider starting their own Little League organization with Argyle uniforms.
Right back up the middle. Can a play be made? There's the throw, and it is in time. Very athletic play from the Skyhawk D.
Easton Talon with the expert pickup, and he makes the move. And he, of course, let one get by last inning, so it's good to get another hard ground ball his way. And oh, look at that. What great grab by Lakota Centeno as well. Just getting the reach and completing that play, 2 outs.
And that ball has eyes, goes right in between the 5-6 gap, crawls its way into left field for a base hit. And we're back at the top of the lineup for the Dons and Nick Roberts, who got aboard on an infield single. I believe that's what they ruled it, as Lindell bobbled the ball at first, and Roberts was aboard safely in the top of the first inning. Here comes Riley Pierce, misses high and outside of that curveball. 1-0.
Nick Roberts, we saw his speed earlier. He's also .487 on base percentage. So your dream leadoff man, hitting .348 to boot. So he's getting the bat on the ball and get himself on base, and he'll look to advance this inning.
And
and
another pickoff play that we see, but the ball, it gets by. And Argyle is aboard.
Scoring position for Nick Roberts. Good read and just a bad second throw. They had the time, but tricky thing about running, you got to be really solid in that defense, and so far being aggressive worked out very well for the Dons.
Two balls, no strikes to Roberts. Here's Riley Pierce, and this ball fisted down the line out of play. And in this chilly condition, that will sting your hands for a little bit. I think the batting gloves that they wear these days are a lot more comfortable and warmer than the ones that we played with. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Roberts swings and misses in a throw down to second base.
Ooh.
That's a risky play. Didn't miss by very much.
Hard to see there, hard to see, but it looked like a pretty dang good throw to try and take advantage there. But he will get to stick out there at second base and see if Roberts can bring it home. Yeah, the gloves these days, some of them are warm, definitely thicker, but some do sacrifice that just to make sure that they are all about grip.
Here's the offering, and Pierce misses away, and yet to get another full count. Riley Pierce can have to battle, as well as Nick Roberts doing some battling at the dish.
Coach said they want to cap Pierce. Not that he's on any sort of hard cap, but they don't like him to throw too much over 80, and usually they hope for 5 runs in that time.
And Pierce gets Roberts to go around and strike out. Second strikeout of the game for Pierce.
Both end innings. Great positive way to end a half inning for him.
So no runs on 1 hit, and the top of the second inning is over. And the Skyhawks looking to keep their momentum that they had going for them in the bottom half of the first inning, going here in the bottom of the second inning. Don't go anywhere, folks. More baseball here on SFCN 17 when we return.
Welcome back. Here's the pitch. Career high and outside for a strike on his first pitch to Lakota Centeno. Mitchell Marshall, Brandon Crow with you here at Salem Hills High School. high again. This one a little bit more centered. And 2-0 pitch to start out this at-bat for the first baseman, Lakota Centeno. He grounds it. Oh, great grab by Golis at third base and all the way across the infield on the bounce. Woo. Great pickup at first by usual starting pitcher Tanner Nielsen, and that is all the way on the line. Beautiful play by Golish. And down goes Lakota Centeno, who didn't hit it too hard, but it's a real good spot to hit it in the infield. But check out that grab, gets down, brings it back up, and great look at the dig. Plenty of time on Centeno.
That's about as good as plays you'll ever see, no matter what level you go to, above high school, college, or major leagues. That was a heck of a play. Sports Center top 10.
Again, 2 balls to start out this at-bat with Jake War at the plate. Here's pitch number 3.
Comes across for a strike.
Both pitchers throwing a little low and so far being rewarded for it. Looks like it's going to be a good area, something you got to be aware of as a hitter.
Big swing and a miss from Jake War.
It was a strike. He was just definitely off on it.
And that one misses high and away. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch from Creer. And this one fisted out of play. See, I'm not sure. They both sting, but in this cold weather, you don't want to get jammed, but you don't want to hit it off the end of the bat like that one looked like it did either.
No, absolutely. But there's times when you're swinging, and Ward does a good job of at least fouling it off. Does it once again. Can't feel good. That one at least a little bit more on the barrel, but you know, sometimes some foul balls are what leads to you really seeing that pitch and actually squaring one up. And he wants to try and get something going before the lineup turns over here. And 1 out already in the books.
Payoff pitch from Creer. And it took a tricky hop right off the lip of the grass. Though it looked like it was going to be just a regular routine ground ball. Shoots up towards eye level almost for Ryan Golish at third. We take another look at this replay. There's the ground ball and just shoots right up. Just comes right up in on Golish. Really nothing he could do.
Tough play for him. And the one you don't expect, of course, he comes across with the backhand and gets the big play on the first out. And the second one looks a little more routine. And it's just a trick of the ball. This one to center. It's going to fall in the gap. And that's going to be a single and move Jake War over to third. So just like that in 2 pitches, Salem Hills with men on the corners, just 1 out.
Ty Bennett's bloop single brings up the top of the order. Second baseman Sam Collister.
Saw that replay there presented by the car guys. Jason Money with the bare hand grab as he came across.
Yeah.
Just a
How
tough
about
spot
that?
where it blooped. And he's able to get into that cutoff man and make sure no mistakes are made. But good piece of hitting there from Ty Bennett. Back up now, Sam Collister.
Collister looks at that looping curveball from Creer as it crosses the plate for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Runners at the corners, still a tie ball game. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, only 1 out. Creer misses low in the zone. War at third, Bennett at first.
Collister in 53 at-bats this year is hitting .472.
Creer steps off, has a look over at Bennett. Yeah, Salem Hills has won 10 out of their last 11 games. Top spot in 4A. Another looping curveball. Nice piece of discipline up at the plate from Collister, laying off of that pitch. Those ones are not the easiest to lay off of. Sometimes they look like big beach balls coming in the zone at really slow, but not necessarily the best pitches you want to hit. And Creer comes right back with a rocket of a fastball. And after a big looping curveball, that fastball looked probably twice the speed as it was.
Easily could have been the looper, and that's hard to see back-to-back as a hitter and try and get the right speed on the right swing when you see the next one come in.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This one's fouled and out of play, and Collister stays alive.
1-2 count here. Collister with a .588 on base percentage. So we talked
how
about
to get on.
Nick Roberts is a fantastic leadoff man. Might have some more speed, but Collister, 6 out of every 10 times you start the game with a man on first. It's a great way.
War at third. Little shiftiness, trying to see if he can get Career to get a false move and maybe have a balk called.
A lot of jumping around and right there in the corner of Career's eye. He knows he's got a man on first as well, and that can wreak some havoc if War can get him looking at him. It could open things up for Ty Bennett over at first.
If you can, Career with 1 out wants to still have that double play opportunity. The runner does go, ball is in the dirt. There's gonna be no play at at second, and that double play opportunity is gone.
2 in scoring position, but good job by McKenna Jarvis keeping the ball in front of him, getting himself the opportunity to throw, especially if War tries to come home and limit any problems.
2-2 pitch.
Ooh.
Pulled the string on that curveball, and Collister goes down swinging.
He knows he got fooled, and good job by Career. I think now with 2 men in scoring position and 2 outs, he's got to focus on the plate 1 out at a time, because War with some false starts at third, doing his job trying to throw off the pitcher. But coming up now, Cooper Smith, the center fielder.
Cooper Smith looks at that strike from Career. Smith reached on an error as he grounded a ball to short his last at bat. It was a ball that Tanner Argyle could not handle.
1 in the dirt there from Career. Cooper Smith, a football player as well. He's a 2-sport athlete, a defensive back, and he's getting some D1 looks. So very athletic kid.
And he fouls this one out of play. One of our friends down the line with the glove can maybe try and make a play on that one. And 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 on. Bottom of the second inning, 2-2 ball game, and here's the pitch from Career. Another looping curveball swung on and missed from Smith, and that is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Career. So no runs come across the plate. Career has a scare as 2 runners get within scoring position, but he buckles down, and the Dons, it's their turn up at the dish to try and get ahead. Don't go anywhere, folks. More baseball 4A Region 8 action when we return here on SFCN Channel 17. Welcome back to Salem Hills High School. Skyhawks and the Dons of Spanish Fork tied up in the top of the 3rd inning at 2 runs apiece. Colton Lundell with a 2-run, 2-out RBI double in the bottom of the 1st tied up the ball game after the Dons knick-knacked their way to a 2-run lead in the top of the 1st. Riley Pierce on the mound for the Skyhawks. Again, Skyhawks in the blue and whites, and the Dons of Spanish Fork with the gray and red. Riley Pierce is 2 balls and no strikes to Devin Argyle, the DH, 175-pound junior, 5'10", takes a look at that strike coming across around his shins, around shin high.
That Shanghai or Shinhai?
Well played.
It's too easy.
The 2-1. That ball grounded over to first. Riley Pierce took a tumble off the mound, and with this wet weather lately, looks like he might have gotten his cleats stuck with mud. He tried to step off the mound to try and make a play, maybe get towards first, and took a tumble.
Coach will come check on him. Looks like he's doing all right, but you always want to make sure he didn't tweak an ankle, twist it a little bit. See if he needs a couple warm-up pitches just to see how that plant foot comes down. Sometimes you don't know it's tweaked until you try and really put your weight on it or throw full force on it again.
Yeah, those things are not incidences to be trifled with.
Just a little bit of a jumping action there. Clicks his heels just to come up and down on him, but also hopefully to knock some dirt out of those spikes.
Again, at the base of the mound there where you see him digging at the dirt towards the right-hand side of the mound, you got a lump of mud gathered towards the bottom, but Riley Pierce seems to be okay. And after Argyle's retired and went away, that brings up third baseman Ryan Golish, who has the defensive play of the ball game, bar none, backhanding full extension at the corner and then thrown across his body. And he looks and he takes high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Golish hitting 357 on the year.
Nice play up the middle and a scoop at first.
Easton Talon with the pretty pickup and turn. Routine play is what we call it, but when you see it and actually doing it, 2 different things, does a great job of getting that first out.
Let's take a look at this play right here. There's a ground ball. Easton Talon makes it look easy, going glove side with the pirouette, throws over. And Centeno with the scoop like a vacuum cleaner at first base. And that's what you call a 6-3 putout, folks. Textbook by the Skyhawk defense.
Seen some good first baseman work on scoops with stellar defensive plays, but sometimes at first it's not all that easy to pick up even the best throws.
From a former first baseman's perspective, I can say firsthand it's definitely not easy. 2-0, and Pierce misses narrowly.
Played first base as well, and I remember moving over to that day. I didn't have a real first baseman's glove. I had a pretty short glove that I'd played with at third. Hard to locate those balls, and it was cold. Grew up in Colorado, so today is that day, just like that day for me. High right there, and taking a base will be Matt Creer.
Again, 2-2 ball game here in the top of the third inning. Creer, starting pitcher for Spanish Fork, and you'll have a replacement runner come in for him. And that brings up the catcher, McKenna Jarvis. The senior grounded out in the top of the first inning, but he grounded out with 1 out and a runner at third, and he was able to get an RBI out of it, the second RBI of the inning. And that is the second run that gives us tied right here, right now. And Riley Pierce misses low and outside.
Nicholas Harrison over at first running for Matt Creer. Look to see if he can make his way around the bases and rally something with 2 outs. After a couple runs from each team, we saw a scoreless second, but I mean, we've still been seeing hits and defensive play. It's been an active game.
Low and in the dirt. Pierce, who we know he has the velocity, but right now it looks as though his control is a little bit off, and instead of throwing the ball, which is what his coaches wanted him to, it looks like he's sort of aiming it, kind of like a dart with a dartboard. And when you have that approach and you're really just throwing it at the plate instead of pitching it, it makes it a lot easier to hit your target, a lot harder, to hit your target.
Absolutely, and we're seeing late breaks on quicker balls, which is, they're not sliding. They're not like a quicker slider. They're just seem to come into the wrong spot each time and generally low thus far.
Jarvis looks at that offering in the dirt. He thought that was ball 4, and nobody seemed to pay attention as Harrison took second base on that one.
And it looks like that was actually called a ball. I did think that was ball 4, and if it was the ball, it would have been ball 4, but little argument coming from Spanish Fork fans and coaches alike, not liking the call, but Either way, got another pitch coming. 3-1 pitch going to be on the way from Riley Pierce.
So Leland Slaughter taking the jeers from both sides of the dugout here. Skyhawks want the runner at second to go back to first. Spanish Fork saying, no way. That was a fair play. There was no throw made. So with 2 outs.
Nicholas Harrison over there at second fooled me. It took me a minute to realize he'd even gone.
Harrison at second. Here's the pitch from Pierce. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
First slower pitch with some really effective movement. Kept it at a great spot, and something that after all those quick pitches, McKenna Jarvis not able to see that and adjust quickly enough.
Here's a full count now. Payoff pitch from Pierce to Jarvis. Fisted should be a routine play, and it is. 4-3 put out. And again, Spanish Fork comes out of the inning with no runs across the plate, and we're still tied 2-2. We're going into the bottom of the third inning here on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to SFCN 17's coverage of the Spanish Fork Dons. They're visiting here at Salem Hills High School against the Skyhawks, and right now we've got a good game going. We've seen some hits, seen some quality pitching, and we're tied as we head into the third, 2-2. Mitchell Marshall and Brandon Crow on the call with you. Matt Creer ready to give that first pitch to the lefty from Salem Hills.
Creer's pitch hits the outside part of the plate, but gets the black, so that it is a strike. And Creer completely misses on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Talon. Talon struck out in the bottom of the first inning. He's trying to redeem himself here in the bottom of the third, and he does so as he ropes that base hit into right field, right in front of Taylor Harrison. Take a look at this great piece of hit. The ball is left up in the zone, Mitch, and when you make those mistakes up in the zone, that's what happens.
He does, and that's a great reaction job. Not one of those perfect pitches where you get that perfect swing, but he does what you want and pulls it, gets himself on base.
Lifted out of play. A great piece of aggressive hitting. The first pitch is there. Why not take a swing at it? That's what our coach's philosophy was, but every coach has a different philosophy, especially when you got a pitcher who is very dominant at the mound, like Creer has been. Check swing, did he go? And he did not. Amidst the jeers of more Dons
early
fans.
swing from Hamblin, liking what he saw, but a high piece of heat that he just saw and realized it's not the kind of pitch that he's going to take. Probably would have pulled it.
And the 1-1 misses on the inside part of the plate. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Hamblin. Hamblin, who drew a walk his first time up in the bottom of the first inning, started out the count 0-2, then came back and worked his way to full count, and then eventually drew the 4th ball. A big looping curveball from Creer, and that one comes across the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that ball's fouled out of play as Talon took off to go to second base. Giving away the thought that Salem Hills is going to run. See if he goes again. He does not. And Creer misses on the outside part of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hamblin. And Hamblin again, who started out 0-2 his first time up and drew a walk. He's right along that same path, starting out 0-2 here. 3 consecutive balls he draws, and he swings and misses. And this ball drifts out of play over the third base dugout. And he lives to see another pitch.
Great work from Hamlin once you see enough balls, and have to get into a little bit of a defensive mode, and he knows he's got a man on, and he's hoping to start something to get his team back in the lead. The sun is out here, and still a little chilly, but
Career misses low and in the dirt, and Hamlin is aboard for his second walk of the ball game.
sometimes it's hard to accept walks when you're the cleanup man, but Hamlin's done a great job of being exactly where his team needs him, and see if they can take advantage.
And Spanish Fork's going to take a quick pause to have a moment to talk with Career. And as we do so, again, we want to take the time to thank our sponsors yet again, the car guys who bring you the wonderful replays each and every broadcast, as well as our friends at MVP Sports for helping us provide these sporting events for you, our beloved friends and family in the Spanish Fork Community Network area. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 17. Hope you're enjoying this Region 8 matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Salem Hills Skyhawks. 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the third inning. And my vote for the MVP Sports MVP of the game so far is up at the plate right now. Deuces, big 2-2. Colton Lindell, who had the 2-out, 2-run RBI double to tie things up in the bottom of the first inning. And he's got 2 on again. And let's see if Career can correct himself from the first mistake he made earlier in this game.
Didn't look like he went around there. Looks like he did not, but yeah, huge key hit. We've seen a few guys come through, but no better time than when you could end the inning and instead you come through and tie up a game and your team's already down. Watches another ball come in.
So 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. And that one misses. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Career to Colton. And Lindell looks at that pitch right down the middle of the plate with some extra mustard on it from Career. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on. 2-2 ball game. 2-2 at the plate. Swung on, foul back. And Lindell stays alive.
Definitely saw that pitch come in well and didn't seem to like it, a little low, but those have been called strikes, so a good decision to swing, and he keeps himself alive.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Career. Fouled. Shallow foul territory, but continues to drift as that Sun took that ball. And did that fan make a barehanded catch?
They were going for it.
I think that fan made the one-handed catch. If so, sign him up, give him a contract.
Ormal's struggling right now, so they should be looking all around the region for the talent.
Off speed misses high. Full count. Colton Lindell working it at the plate. And Matt Career doing work on the bump. Get nobody out. Ground ball to the left side of the infield, could turn 2. And this one lifted into center field, drifting back to the wall is Nick Roberts, who makes the easy catch. No runners advance, and Lindell's retired for the first out of the inning.
Ball stayed in the air a long time, and Nick Roberts does a good job of tracking it and not letting it go past over his shoulder, and sees it, stays in front of it, able to grab that just a few feet in front of the wall. If there was a warning track, I'm sure he would have been tracking right up to it. 380, so a pretty nice piece of hitting there.
Yeah, it's quite a ways. As Jesse Rowley looks at that pitch from Career for a strike. Rowley ended the bottom of the first inning striking out. So Matt Career, he gets himself out of these jams, and right now is an opportune time to try and get himself out of another one. And he paints that outside part of the corner. But home plate umpire Leland Slaughter says that one was too far outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Still 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the third. And there's the off-speed pitch, grounded to first, bobbled. Could be a close play, and he is safe.
Fans not loving it, but it did look like his foot was not on the base. He was reaching and scraping, and see if we can see it right here.
Tanner Nielsen with the bobble, and he throws it over to first.
Creer's foot was sliding towards the base when he received it, and it looked like the foot of the runner, Jesse Rowley, was able to hit that bag before before Creer. Nielsen probably would like to get that one on his own, but just had too much trouble gathering it. Really good play from them, but a split-second win from Rowley on the run. And tie goes to the runner, so call it a tie, and still loads up the bases for the Skyhawks. Now number 24, Lakota Centeno, doing some good defensive work, gonna try and help out on the other end. Watches that one go by high from Creer, who after a defensive play like that, sometimes you gotta calm down and focus on what you're doing on the mound and start getting one out at a time. Right now he's got his bases loaded, 1-1 pitch, 1 out.
Big opportunity for Skyhawks of Salem Hills. And it was Centeno who was robbed down the third baseline earlier in the ballgame by Ryan Golish, who made that stellar play. Again, robbing a surefire stand-up double. Big looping curveball and a bigger swing from Centeno.
Centeno knows it too, just didn't see that one, swung under it by quite a bit, and something you'd love to see as a pitcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases juiced. Here's Creer. Creer comes and fires. And Centeno goes down looking.
He didn't even know it. He was looking over for some signs and had to turn around and hear the bad news that the backwards K came his way, and that means Jake War coming to the plate. We saw him come all the way to third his last time up. Couldn't quite get in, but shifty runner, and he'll look to gather up a couple RBIs here.
Jake War swings and fouls the first pitch he sees, backing out of play.
He does have 10 RBIs on the season from that 8th spot, and primed up right here to see if he can do some damage with 2 outs, and Creer's looking to get out of a bit of rough traffic and bring his boys back up to bat.
There's a slow dribbler, and Golish will do it himself. And after Creer has the bases loaded against him with 1 out, somehow sneaks away out of the inning and doesn't allow a run.
Good defense behind him, and you always have that force opportunity. The ball stays low, something you always want to see, and no damage done. 2-2, headed forward, and we'll be right back here on SFCN.
2-2 ball game here at Salem Hills High School. Skyhawks and the Dons knotted up. Top of the 4th inning. Again, this ball game brought to you by our good friends, the Car Guys and MVP Sports. The Car Guys taking care of all of your car needs in the Spanish Fork community for years.
And you can reach them at 801-794-0077. On their site right now, they've got some deals. It's probably a good time to get over there. We head into summer and get that car tuned up and see what Pierce can do here.
Looks like a slider crosses the part of the plate in favor of the Skyhawks. 0-1 count. And here's the 0-1 pitch swung on, foul back. That was a pretty golf swing.
It was. He got low very quick and fouled it right back, which means he probably would have hit a golf ball straight, something I can't do. So props to him. Here comes the 1-1.
Jason Money looks at that pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's Riley Pierce's offering. And Money swings and misses.
Riley Pierce lost a little bit of velocity, but I don't think it's because he's wearing it down. I think it's because he's focusing in and just trying to throw strikes and throw his pitches and a little less low, aiming a little bit less, and that velocity will come if he can make sure he gets his pitching action in. Here comes a first pitch to Taylor Harrison, the right fielder, comes in as a ball.
Harrison flew out to center. First time up. Nice and easy, 6-3 put out.
Easton Talon with the grab, very routine play, and good news for Riley Pierce. The bump, know that those strikes are working, and he's still keeping it low in that zone, able to get a ground out and move forward to Tanner Argyle.
Tanner Argyle grounded out to short his last time up. And the shortstop himself looks at that off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate for a strike, and he goes down quickly to Riley Pierce, 0-1. Top of the fourth inning, still 2-2 ball game. 0-1 pitch taken on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pierce working very quickly. See if the Dons want to throw off that timing because he's just throwing strike after strike.
And he misses there.
Looks pretty good, a little low, but something that's been called today, so he'll keep running along. Didn't quite get the call right there. High and outside on that one. And we keep mentioning the shortstop for the Skyhawks. That's Easton Talon. He's committed to Salt Lake Community College, so he's going to be playing ball at the next level next year. And a swing and a miss from Tanner Argyle.
So full count for Argyle. Here's the payoff pitch from Riley Pierce. Swung on and missed. And for the second strikeout of the inning and 4th on the day, Tanner Argyle goes down.
Quick work right there from Riley Pierce, and I think the Dons want to get out, do the same so that they can get back up and have another chance at him. And you'll see that when we come back on SFCN. Stay with us. Welcome back here to Salem Hills High School. It's turned into a beautiful day, a little chilly for April, but the sun is out. We're surrounded by clouds, but for right now, it's looking good, no precipitation. We're going to let you know again, we're brought to you by MVP Sports. You can find them at 72 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, and they will take care of all your sporting goods needs and your uniforms, your prints. Great group down there, sponsor our MVP. And we've got a close game, so low pitch start there from Matt Creer, but with a close game, you never know who the MVP is because there's some critical at-bats and critical pitches still to be made.
Ty Bennett right now hits a slow dribbler just out in front. The throw gets away, but somehow, some way, Tanner Nielsen was able to keep his foot on the bag. That was a very impressive play, one that needs to get more credit than people might think.
Absolutely, great stretch and a good throw, a little faster than you want, but man, what a good job keeping his foot down from Tanner Nielsen. A tough throw to make.
McKenna Jarvis fouls that curveball back and out of play. And excuse me, Sam Collister. McKenna Jarvis had the throw that got, it looks like it just tailed away from Tanner Nielsen, but again, Nielsen, very impressive to keep that foot on the base.
I didn't think he had a shot at catching it, let alone keeping his foot down. Great work. On a play like that, on a bunt with a strike coming in from Matt Creer, you generally, depending where that ball goes, you have your first baseman yelling inside or outside, and that one, he had the opportunity outside of the bag, but that ball really whipped out.
And looping curveball misses. I like the way Creer attacks his game from the pitching mound. He's fearless. He comes at you with fastballs, comes at you with breaking balls, curveballs, whatever it takes, no matter what count it is. I love his approach. It's very fun to watch. 1-2, and he gets Collister swinging.
And he knew exactly what to do there. He actually shook off a couple of signs from Jarvis. He knew exactly what he wanted to throw, and he did it just like he planned, gets the strikeout. Great work right there from Creer. You love to see that communication. He knows what to call, shakes it off, and Jarvis is catching him well today, and they've controlled the game.
His 5th strikeout on the day for Matt Creer. And that brings up center fielder Cooper Smith. Cooper Smith, tall drink of water, looks to extend his hands and put a good piece of the bat on the ball to get aboard with the hit some way, somehow. The 2-out rally is what the Skyhawks are hoping for. So 1-0 count to the center fielder. And he probably fouls that one back to the backstop, 1-1.
Cooper Smith hitting an exact 400 at exact 60 at-bats before today's game, so he's had another one in there, but excellent average, and I like that he keeps his numbers even. OCD folks like me love that in a statistic.
Here's the offering from Creer, and he is way out in front, and looked like that ball might have gotten a piece of his front foot.
I think his bat may have even come down and chipped him a little bit, but he started to swing, realized how slow that ball was coming in, almost got a good bat on it, was able to foul it off, but maybe at the expense of a little stinger.
And Creer comes right at him, but just misses on the outside part of the plate. Very tough pitch to take with 2 strikes if you're Cooper Smith. And Smith stays alive again.
Good foul off by Smith on a higher ball, and got to wonder if they're going to start letting the high heat go. It's tempting to hit, but not being called strikes for the most part, and also a tall man, like you said.
Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 6 on the day for Creer. Creer looks like the more he goes, the hotter he gets.
We just saw 2 back-to-back half innings of some fantastic pitching. No near damage done after a lot of traffic, so we're going to see one of these teams is going to break through, and we're going to have it all for you right here on SFCN 17 right after this commercial break.
Welcome back to Salem Hills High School. Top of the 5th inning, 2-2 ball game still. It's a nail biter between Salem Hills and Spanish Fork. Brandon Crow, Mitch Marshall, and company with you here on SFCN 17. Riley Pierce's first pitch to Walker Jones. It's high and outside. Spanish Fork, if you're just joining us, took a 2-0 lead in the top of the 1st, which was short-lived after the Skyhawks came back in the bottom half of that inning, thanks to Colton Lindell's 2-out, 2-run RBI double. Tied up the ball game, and we have been tied up ever since. Some stellar pitching from Riley Pierce in blue and Matt Creer in the gray and red. Both squads, very evenly matched teams, very evenly played ball game today. And just like that, Walker Jones leads off the 5th inning with a walk. Lives up to his own name. And that brings up center fielder Nick Roberts. Nick Roberts struck out his last at bat. And with runner on first and nobody out, he looks to keep this rally alive and get the Dons back on top and back aboard. And Riley Pierce, that's a decent look from a left-hander over to first base. The key when you're at first as a runner, obviously, is to look at that front knee from the lefty. If the knee crosses, then you can go to the plate, but if that knee does not cross, he can still come over to first. And we have a pickoff play. Throw is awry, gets into left field. Something happened between the throw from Centeno and Talon at second. Talon couldn't see the ball or whether Jones has gotten in the way, but needless to say, Jones is aboard safely at second base.
Well, you knew exactly what was coming, and watching or not, you kind of take that he was going to go, and it was going to be a close play, but the ball gets away, and the little defensive mistakes matter, and that's what you're trying to cause. In Spanish Fork, we've seen them be pretty aggressive on the base paths all year.
And that ball gets by Sam Collister behind the dish. And the go-ahead run in Walker Jones is just 90 feet away, Mitch, with nobody out and 1 ball, no strikes. And I think we might have a pitching change. We're going to take this opportunity to take a quick break ourselves. We'll be right back with some more baseball action here in the top of the 5th inning here on SFC and Channel 17. Riley Pierce stays in the ball game for Salem Hills. Again, top of the 5th inning, Walker Jones on third base, nobody out. Spanish Fork knocking on the door.
Ooh.
And Nick Roberts fouls that one out of play.
Not too far off it there, got a good bit of bat on ball. And we saw the first real pass ball at a pretty deep backstop, and those little things are gonna, another foul off. That could get you in trouble after such a clean inning by Riley Pierce. He sees a man at third after a throwing error on a pickoff attempt and then a pass ball. So Spanish Fork winning with small ball right now. See what Nick Roberts can do.
And with the infield up, Nick Roberts promptly bangs that one to center field. Cooper Smith picks it up, throws it in. But Walker Jones trots across the plate. And Spanish Fork Dons go ahead 3-2 in the top of the 5th inning.
Check this piece of hitting out right here. Good swing, a little in on the hands, but he hits it hard and straight up the middle. Just great timing on a pretty fast pitch from Riley, and he's going to try and calm things down with the man on first and get some outs. Look like not loving the balls and strikes calls are the Dons fans here, but Devin Argyle sees that one go by, and he'll look to build a lead. He offered it a bunt there.
Argyle swings away, and right in between Jake War and Cooper Smith for a single. So back-to-back singles in roughly the same area. And I got us starting to wonder now, how much longer is Riley Pierce going to be on the dish as we see again that great piece of hitting.
See if he can grab an out here. If not, wouldn't be surprised to see him go. That replay brought to you by the Car Guys. You can find them at thecarguysut.net. And saw those two replays, fairly similar, a little bit more air on the second ball, but right up the middle, they're seeing the fastballs and they're getting themselves on base.
Golish squares around a bunt and lays a beauty down, dies right in front of the plate, but again, Lakota Centeno showing off his defensive prowess, scooping everything up in sight over at first to get the sacrifice put out. But Ryan Golish gets the job done. Take a look at this bunt, Mitch. Literally stops. Boom.
Dies quicker than you'd think. Good job by the catcher really to check third and still get a great play at first. A little bit of a hop. Good job by Centeno, Sam Collister on the play, but exactly what you want to do there. Moving your guys over, giving yourself the opportunity to score. Fouled straight back there by Matt Creer, but your 3-hitter willing to go out there and put a bunt down, and he does a pretty good job of it on a very hard pitch from Riley Pierce.
Matt Creer with an opportunity to quote-unquote do it himself, and he promptly does right in between Ty Bennett and Lakota Centeno. RBI single for the pitcher, helps his own cause, tacks on another run. 2 runs come across the plate so far in the top half of the 5th inning. Pitch on the outside part of the plate, and Creer just went with it and promptly banged it into right field for an RBI base hit.
And that's a pretty shallow play there from Tanner Hamblin, able to make sure that nobody else can round on in and score. You had Devin Argyle, who could have played in there, but a really good spot, especially when you know that first baseman is playing a little bit in. Good piece of hitting from the pitcher, and now they've doubled him up and still threatening with just 1 out and men at the corners. Here's McKenna Jarvis.
McKenna Jarvis really digging into the plate. You can tell something a little different about this at-bat than previous at-bats. He looks more ready to just crush a ball if it comes across the plate. If you look at his arms and the way he's rocking that bat, here comes the offering from Pierce, and that one misses high and outside.
I actually like the idea of, I think that high ball is going to be tempting. Pretty McKenna Jarvis is pretty tall, and you can see it. You can see that adrenaline, like you said. He wants to do some damage right here, help his team build that lead even more, and make sure that this rally counts.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Throw to first. Trying to keep him honest, keep him honest over at first.
Also keep that availability for a simple 6-4-3 double play alive. Get himself out of the inning with just a couple runs in.
And here's the 2-0 pitch from Pierce. And again, a throw over to first. Sometimes the pitcher does that just to maybe get a rhythm and collect his thoughts before coming back to the plate.
He knows there's a pinch runner out there. You can do that for your pitcher, and you definitely want to put more speed, and he's cautious of that.
Pierce comes to the plate this time and misses. So 3 balls and no strikes to the big man behind the dish, McKenna Jarvis.
I think right now the Skyhawks are letting their man pitch, but he's a little mixed up right now. It doesn't look like he's too focused.
And that would be a balk. Runners will advance, and the 3rd run of the inning comes across the plate, and that's one that Riley Pierce definitely wants back.
Yeah, he's mixed up right now. He was focusing way too much. His eyes just weren't on the plate. All that hesitation. Good work, kind of messing with his head on first base right there by Nicholas Harrison. But really, you know, that 3rd run stinks, and you don't want that man to get into scoring position, but you got to get one out at a time. And something kind of wish the coach or the catcher would have come out and just said, hey, don't worry about that runner.
And McKenna Jarvis takes that 3-0 pitch down low, but comes across the plate in the strike zone, says Leland Slaughter behind the home plate. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 3 runs across the plate for Spanish Fork here in the top of the 5th inning. They lead 5-2. And here's the pitch from Riley Pierce. Big curveball, and that one comes across the plate. Full count now from McKenna Jarvis.
Good looking pitch and one of his few breaking balls for strikes. And he's looking to limit damage, keep his team in this game, and see if his offense can come up and do what they do best, which they haven't been able to do thus far against Matt Creer.
Payoff pitch to Jarvis. Jarvis swings and misses, and he goes down.
A little bit of that high heat on the inside of the hands. Jarvis, tough one to lay off of, not able to there. And now with the man at second.
Might have a pinch hitter.
The strikeout brings up number 27, Zach Harrison.
Zach Harrison is pinch hitting for Jason Money at the plate. But going back to that last at-bat, you have to tip your cap off to Riley Pierce. After balking in the 3rd run of the inning and then going down 3-0, he battles back to strike out McKenna Jarvis.
It's got to feel good, and I know they want him to finish off this inning.
As we take a look at the curveball.
It's a good dropping pitch and good location for a power hitter like Jarvis. Get it in on his hands and give yourself a chance. You know, he may not come back after this inning. You know, you want to finish 5 and you want to give your team the best opportunity after you struggled a little bit.
Zach Harrison looks at that pitch from Pierce on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Riley Pierce, with 2 outs, wants to stop the bleeding on the inning with a runner in scoring position at second. And Harrison looks at his 2nd straight strike coming across the plate.
That's a pitch that we were seeing called earlier. I haven't felt like the last couple innings we've seen it, but good location. A good ball to even throw, but he gets the call there.
Here's the 0-2. And Harrison with the defensive stay-alive swing does so by banging that one down first baseline to foul territory. Low pitch coming across the zone. Like you said, not essentially the one he wanted, but he swung at it anyway. And he swings and drives this one to Easton Talon, who fires it over to Lakota Centeno for the final out of the inning. But the Dons of Spanish Fork tack on 3
Spanish Fork in the top of the 5th. There were 3 runs on
as we see
once.
the final out of the inning, stopping the bleeding for the Skyhawks.
Talon doing work today.
But Skyhawks grab their bats and look forward to answering the Dons in the bottom half of the inning when we return right here on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to SFCN 17. Right now, Spanish Fork up 5-2 over Salem Hills. Salem Hills, thus far, been probably the best team in 4A in Utah. Spanish Fork struggling of late. Took a little road trip over spring break to California and lost to some very good teams, but they've been going against the best of competition, and they're looking to advance their region record. They've only have that one loss in the region to Salem Hills, so not in a bad spot as far as playoffs are concerned, but that overall record not looking great. Right now, though, they have a 3-run lead against the best of the best, and this would be a huge confidence booster for them. They've seen some great pitching and some great advantageous timing and clutch hitting, so we'll see if they can continue to do so. Taylor Harrison leading it off for the Dons. See if they can get more of a cushion. As we told you, it's 383 is what Salem Hills hits as a team, so very capable with 2 more at-bats of coming back. We'll see if Spanish Fork can tack on some extra cushion. Rain is coming down.
Don't adjust your television sets. Your television set is not cloudy or foggy. That is just the clouds rolling in along with some precipitation. And we have a new pitcher in the ball game for Salem Hills. And that is Easton Talon, I believe, who has come in the ball game from short. And Easton Talon promptly retires the first batter he sees in Harrison, and has Harrison strikes out.
Absolutely. Good little piece. Just throwing strikes. I think he's going to go out there, and I'm sure coach just said, hey, one at a time, let's get out there and give ourselves an opportunity to come back. Now, Tanner Argyle at the plate.
Tanner Argyle gets that one across the plate.
Watch that one coming a little low, but a good spot.
And here's the offering. A big looping curveball just misses the zone.
Almost looked like it was going to come in and hit him, but ended up in a fair good spot.
And Argyle continues to look at these pitches he does not want to hit. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Get a good look at a new pitcher. Very quick moves here.
And Argyle draws the walk. Yeah, very, very fast motion from Easton Talon.
Wasting no time. I like his, he puts that glove in front of his face, just looks, and it's all one straight move from there.
Walker Jones lived up to his name last inning, drew out the walk, and scored the first run of 3 for Spanish Fork. And there goes the runner. And there's the throw. The throw is in time, and the tag is in time, and Argyle is retired.
Beautiful throw there from Sam Collister. A little in the dirt, but just at the right spot so that Ty Bennett could pick that up and get the first out of the inning. I like that Spanish Fork is not sitting back, still being aggressive. It's been successful for him, but you will run into those outs as you're aggressive.
Spanish Fork looking to take down the top dogs, not only in just the region, but in 4A. Like we said earlier, winning 10 out of their last 11 are the Skyhawks of Salem Hills. Only losses this season have come to Springville back on March 26th and then against Bountiful on March 14th. Other than that, flawless record. Lots of W's in the columns.
Absolutely, and Coach knew from Salem Hills, he said he's like, I want to beat Springville as bad as I want to beat anybody, and Spanish Fork is always a threat. Oh, and a looking strike there to end the inning from Pierce. Last thought on that one, he said, the proximity is a proximity, and Spanish Fork is a great program, but we always want to win. So they're going to get another chance here as the rain is coming harder and harder. We'll be right back with you on SFCN.
Back here at Salem Hills High School, Matt Creer on the dish, still working his magic as that curveball comes across for a strike to Easton Talon, the shortstop, trying to get a rally started after the Dons tacked on 3 in the top half of the 5th.
Talon looking passive right now. See if he can do it on offense like he's been doing it on defense. As I said, a college commit. There.
Puts the bat on the ball, lazy fly ball, and Nick Roberts catches that one easily. And 3 pitches and Talon's retired.
A little bit late on that, and you can just see he didn't put a ton into the swing. I don't know if he really was seeing the ball come in well. Good pitch to swing at, and he just didn't put any oomph on it. And that little bit of lateness also brought it out. And a foul back right there.
Right fielder Tanner Hamblin steps up to the plate, fouls one off, and he goes down the count 0-1. And Matt Creer again has an opportunity to work in his favor, and he uses that opportunity to try to get Hamblin to chase with what some would call a junk ball or a junk pitch, something in the dirt.
Diving down, and you see far too many strikeouts come on those, even at the professional level.
Almost the exact same pitch, just a little bit more elevated in the zone. Still, Tanner Hamblin not wanting any part of that, sitting on fastball. I believe he would.
1-2 pitch coming here after nice battle come so far, and this one's fouled up and over our heads. We're on that third base side.
One ball, 2 pitch. Excuse me, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tanner Hamblin. And he fouls this one again out of play.
Similar location there.
Very similar location.
After not swinging for 3 pitches now, he's seeing it and staying alive and see if he can take advantage. Salem Hill's trying to beat Spanish Fork in back-to-back games. Took them out on Tuesday, and they are at the top of the region and pretty near the top of the state when it comes to 4A, and they're trying to come back here.
Oh,
Ooh.
That was dirty. That was a dirty pitch from Matt Creer to get Tanner Hamblin striking out, swinging. And the last 3 innings for Creer have been pretty spot on.
Spot on, efficient. Watch this one more time.
Filthy.
Oh, that is exactly what you want to see.
And deuces, Colton Lundell.
The only 2 RBIs thus far coming off his bat for the Skyhawks.
Lundell looks at that pitch in the dirt, does not want anything to do with that pitch or that location. Lets that one go. 1 ball, 1 strike to the big man. And here's Creer's offering. Again, Creer working low because he knows that any mistake left up high in the zone, Lundell is going to make him pay for it like he has so far in this ball game. And comes back with a little extra heat on that one. Almost gets by McKinnon Jarvis.
Lundell, I'm sure, glad to just get on base here. He knows his team needs some runs and needs to get themselves back in this. And he's been patient at the ditch watching those low balls come in. And there you go.
And Lundell draws a 2-out walk. And we might see a pinch runner come in for Lundell. And I do believe we have one coming in. And as we get the information for that pinch runner, that brings up third baseman Jesse Rowley. And as soon as Jesse Rowley steps up to the plate, we've got the wind that picks up coming in from the north.
Yeah, that sun I mentioned earlier, that's gone. We are in full cloud cover once again.
So Bigelow is your runner at first base for Lundell. 2 outs, 5-3 Spanish Fork lead over Salem Hills in the bottom of the 5th. And this one in the air could be some trouble with this wind. Dancing around and making the catch very acrobatically is Jason Money.
Good work by Jay Money as that flying around out there.
And just as the rain begins to fall, Spanish Fork goes into the dugout trying to cling on for 2 more innings. Their 3-run lead, but not if the Skyhawks of Salem Hills have anything to say about it. We'll be right back with more 4A Region 8 action right here on SFC and Channel 17. Well, some familiar inclement weather here in the spring, the supposed spring here in Utah. It is April 16th. We had some apocalyptic-like weather earlier this week that pushed back a couple games, but weather has appeared to be good for the first 5 innings of this ball game and has since changed its mind and has come back.
Did you ever run into this in SoCal growing up? I mean, I'm sure you saw some rain, but
not very much, no.
See, in Denver, we knew throughout April there was the possibility of snow on these days. That fun, crazy weather that you see so often in Utah. And so they will play through like the postmen, rain or snow. These guys do what they have to do. Number 24 up for Salem Hills, Lakota Centeno.
We have a new pitcher for Spanish Fork for the Dons. That is number 13, Remo Rivera. Remo Rivera, big boy with a lot of velocity and a little too much velocity for McKinnon Jarvis behind the dish as that one gets away from him.
Didn't see that one at all. We saw Remo Rivera come in and do some stellar closing against Wasatch a couple weeks back. See if he can finish this game off.
And Remo Rivera, 2 balls to Lakota Centeno to start bottom half of the 6th inning. And Centeno looks at that pitch for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Centeno, the first baseman.
Sure, they're glad to see someone other than Creer after those strong last few innings from Matt Creer.
And Centeno with a check swing just does get a piece. And it fouls and out of play. The rain continues to come down. The drop's getting bigger. Oh, a silly curveball from Remo Rivera buckles the knees of Lakota Centeno and 1 away in the bottom of the 6th.
He saw what Riley Pierce did last inning. It was like, hey, I've got one of those for you.
Jake War, the left fielder, comes up to the plate, takes that first pitch from Rivera for a ball. War is a very tiny strike zone that can be very hard for pitchers to find. Case in point.
That may have been a strike on many people. A little inside, but a nice hard pitch at a great level from Rivera.
That one low, but too low. So full count now to Jake. Remo Rivera, 3-0 pitch. Comes inside, and Jake Ward is aboard with a walk. And that brings up Ty Bennett, the second baseman. So with the rain coming down, the cold factor increasing, and with the chances dwindling for Salem Hills, Ty Bennett steps up to the plate trying to keep this half inning alive for Salem Hills.
4 more outs for Salem Hills to try to make something happen. And here's a ground ball over to third, second, and looking for the double play. A little bit late, and he's safe over at first, but a good defensive play once again by Ryan Golish. We saw have maybe the play of the day. Third baseman. That's what I always wanted to play, and I did for a while, just because I think they have a great opportunity. Usually powerful hitters.
Catcher Sam Collister steps up to the plate with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 3 runs are the Skyhawks to the Dons of Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork looking to hand the Skyhawks of Salem Hills just their 3rd loss of the season if they hold on for 4 more outs. A big swing and a miss from Collister. And Collister
Seen
down
that a couple
0-2.
times from Collister. He's tried to bring his team within 1 on that pitch.
So here's the 0-2 pitch from Rivera. Runner goes, swung on and missed, and down goes Collister. 2nd strikeout of the half inning.
I'm wondering right now if that was a hit and run or not, because Collister swung, but it looked like a good opportunity for a steal. But it's going to be the last chance, and Spanish Fork may make it even more difficult, and they'll be up to bat when we come back on SFCN 17. Welcome back to SFCN's coverage of Salem Hills, and Spanish Fork got a good game going for you.
A nice wet game for you.
Wet game where Spanish Fork looking to get out of here, get dry with a victory over one of the best teams in 4A baseball. And Salem Hills looking to make a little bit of a late inning magic. And it's going to be a tall order. We've seen Spanish Fork do everything very well today after a couple runs early. And we are brought to you here by MVP Sports, and you can find them at 72 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, and take care of all your sporting goods needs. Custom apparel left and right. Great company, and they make this possible for us to broadcast to you. And here we go. First pitch of the inning.
1-2-3. Top of the order for Spanish Fork, Roberts, Argyle, and Golish. And Spanish Fork with a 3-run lead in the top of the 7th inning, 5-2 over the Skyhawks. And that is a nice off-speed pitch from Easton Talon at the dish. Easton Talon very intimidating with his Bryce Harper-esque, almost Gene Simmons-esque eye black. Roberts, he fouls this one off of his hands into shallow right field.
Just a nice little fly ball, had a line drive feel to it, but right at Tanner Hamlin out in right field.
So Hamlin gets Roberts out, and that brings up Argyle now.
Argyle watches one go by in the dirt.
So 1 ball, 1 strike to Argyle. And a big looping curveball from Easton Talon misses the mark. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And misses low again. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Talon to Argyle. And the wind gusts now begin to pick up. And Argyle draws a walk. And so a 1-out walk for Argyle brings up defensive MVP for Spanish Fork, 3rd baseman Ryan Golish.
Does Golish have any RBIs today as well?
Golish, I believe, no, he did not, but he had a sacrifice bunt to move runners into scoring position, to which Matt Creer promptly had a single into right field to bring home a couple.
Golish, definitely the defensive play of the game. Remind us, if I don't know if you saw on Tuesday, it was all over the web and the sports channels. 2-time Gold Glove winner Nolan Arenado, who's just in his 3rd year in baseball and majors, makes plays like that all the time. That's a good thing to hear if you're Golish, and that's a 2-way player in Arenado. See if Golish can do it on the offensive side.
And a big looping curveball
Pretty
Talon
pitch.
comes in for a strike, and I dare say that the only reason why you knew that fun fact is because he does play for your hometown Rockies.
You know, I keep pretty good track of what's going on in the majors, but definitely a stellar third baseman. And for Golis to remind you of someone like that is great news. Runner goes. Oh.
So missed some confusion on the base pass as Argyle thought that Golish might have tipped that ball. And as he was heading back to first, his team, along with the Spanish Fork faithful, said, no, stay there, because he did not tip that. That was just a swing and a miss. As Collister comes out to talk with Talon at the mound. It is very wet, trying to maybe get Talon to dry the ball off a little bit, maybe just relax, focus on getting strikes, putting the ball across the plate, and making Spanish Fork put the bat on the ball, put it in play.
Quick visit there. Usually that means just a miscommunication or say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Let's move forward with it and try and get ourselves back to the plate, see if we can have some late inning magic.
Golish looks at that low pitch in the dirt. Still alive. There's a ground ball. Should be routine. 6-3 put out. Centeno
Moves the runner along. Now we've got a man at third with 2 outs for the Dons. And now up to bat, Matt Creer, the man who pitched so well, had a couple runs come across in the first inning, but dominated after that. And he is the cleanup man. And see if he can bring in one more insurance run that's sitting there at third for him.
again, 5-2. Spanish Fork lead over Salem Hills. And Matt Creer with that check swing starts off this at bat in the top of the 7th inning, 0-1. Easton Talon comes right back and fires, and a good piece of defense from Sam Collister. If that ball goes underneath his legs, that's a good 25 feet to the backstop.
It's
and
definitely another
plenty
run
of time
to
for the run to come across the board, yeah. And this ball is banged into center field, but right at Cooper Smith. And 1, 2, 3 go down the Dons. And the Skyhawks of Salem Hills are down to their final 3 outs. They trail 3.
Welcome back to SFCN 17. Your Spanish Fork Dons are up by 3, and they are looking to close out one of the better teams in the state. Salem Hills, a great hitting team, desperate on the other end to get something going. Nothing since the first. After that, Matt Creer able to shut them down, and they will come out on this wet day and see if they can take advantage. And on the other side, the Dons are going to try and end the game strong. Rivera at the mound. And one more time, of course, we're brought to you by the Car Guys. You can find them at thecarguysut.net.
And also, we want to thank MVP Sports for helping us give this game its broadcast due. And at the end of the game, like every game, we will give our MVP Sports MVP of the ball game. And Remo Rivera rocks and fires that first pitch strike to Cooper Smith.
Hey, how are you?
Remo Rivera comes back with a breaking ball, and Smith does not chase it.
Throwing hard. It was a hard breaking ball. He's here to close and pitching well thus far.
Smith doesn't chase that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Skyhawks down to their final 3 outs, trailing 3, 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that ball is blistered foul.
Nice piece of hitting, but pulled it a little too much. Could have sat back a little bit on that. See if he can get one down that line.
15-2 are the Skyhawks' record. Like you said, Mitch, one of the better teams in the state, and Spanish Fork would love nothing more to come out of today with a W. Cooper Smith drives this one over the head of Jason Money in a stand-up double.
Hands up ball under fence is usually what that means, or, you know, stuck under fence, or just dribble right under there. But a good piece of hitting after just missing on the pitch before. You see that instant replay from the car guys, deep and early on. Money just, oh, you can see it there. The ball just hooked right under the fence. And good way to start. Man in scoring position, nobody out, and a lefty at the plate.
Easton Talon, the pitcher, steps up to the plate now, trying to help out his own cause. And he takes that pitch from Remo Rivera for a strike. But Remo, if I'm his coach, I'd tell him just to forget about that runner at second and just focus on getting the batters out.
Absolutely, and a nice pitch right down the pipe.
You hear that glove pop?
Yeah.
That's some high octane velocity coming at a chilly day. Those things can cause some trouble for some batters.
Surprise Talon able to lay off of that one. Next pitch takes a swing, but this is going to fly out foul down the third base line. And Talon looking to see if he can bring his man home, and really if you get a base stolen or a single, and can't be too worried about it. Like you said, you've got a 3-run cushion if you can concentrate on the man at the dish, make sure no throwing mistakes are made, and you don't give the opportunity for 2 runs at a time rather than 1.
That ball is also drifted foul out of play.
Similar spot to last time, a little bit more of a drive, but Talon getting a good bat on the ball, and honestly, they look good, and they're just flying out. See if he can maybe swing a little earlier on one and pull that to a deeper part of the ballpark in fair territory.
Remo Rivera comes right at Easton Talon, but misses high for a ball. Here's the pitch from Remo Rivera. Off speed, misses on the outside part of the plate. And Easton Talon making Remo Rivera work in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Rivera not missing by much, not controversial calls as much as he's just throwing it into some good spots and throwing it hard. See if he can make those key pitches that make the boys swing or make them look. Might come off speed after some hard pitches here.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Curveball misses on the outside part of the plate.
The fans don't love that one.
McKenna Jarvis tried to frame that bad boy on the outside. Here's the payoff pitch.
Oh.
Time is called.
Oh.
There was a
like,
balk.
It's like, there you go. And you just heard it from a parent back there. He knows. He just says, hey, you got to get the outs. You know, the balk, you never want to see that. But he was on second. Now he's on third, still scoring position. But you need to be worried about the man at the plate, Easton Talon.
There's the payoff pitch to Talon. And Talon swings and misses. First base is open, so the throw has to be good to get him, and it is. Jarvis to Nielsen.
Good job by Jarvis waiting to see, because, you know, you can steal home at any time. But now you got that man still on third, but you got the out that you wanted. Good for Rivera. And now Tanner Hamblin. Powerful cleanup man for Salem Hills. Going to come back and try and bring that runner in, get his team one bit closer with one out now.
Tanner Hamblin, like we talked about earlier, one of the taller guys on the ball club, and when it comes to being tall, you have usually longer arms and can have more power when you extend those arms, and Tanner has shown that this season, one of the higher batting averages on the team. And
Another
Remo Rivera misses with that pitch.
doesn't miss by much. Not pleasing the crowd here. Little on the low side on a tall man, but still looked pretty good.
And Remo struggling with his accuracy here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We have a runner at third. 1 out
now.
Full,
So
3 balls and no strikes.
see if Hamlin either wants to try and get the run here or wants to just get himself on base by watching at least one go by.
Which he does.
Hard decision to make. You know, usually your coach is always going to tell you, you know, take on 3-0. So just right down the middle and see what that does for the confidence of Remo Rivera.
Here's a 3-1 pitch from Rivera. Swung on and fouled out of play. The count now is full.
Rivera gets himself back into this one after starting out with 3 balls. Little muddy out there.
Yeah,
See as well, affecting some of the movement, the foot movement of the pitchers and the batters.
Home plate looks like a quagmire. And Remo misses low and outside. And Hamlin draws the walk.
Good eye from Hamlin. Remo wanted to chase, but probably willing to give up that over the bigger swing that was opportune if he leaves that up.
Salem, the designated hitter, number 22, Colton Lundell.
Lundell, coach gonna take some time and go out and talk to his infield, and Lundell's backup, and he's still the only man with RBIs, and we'll see if he can come through big once again. Definitely so far the Salem Hills nominee for the MVP Sports MVP of the game. And while they're doing this mound visit and getting everything ready for the crunch time of this game, we're going to take one final break. We'll welcome you back for the big moment on SFCN 17.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. I've been a nurse for over 30 years and provided hospice care to patients and their families in Utah County as well as Salt Lake County.
I'm Loretta Williams, and this is my mother. If it wasn't for Karma, I don't know where we'd be.
Anyone that comes my way, I've already told them they should see Karma.
If you or a loved one are facing a terminal illness, give us a call or visit our website.
Remo Rivera on the mound looking at Colton Lundell. As you mentioned before the break, Mitch, the man with the only 2 RBIs for the Skyhawks in this ballgame, and at the plate he represents the tying run. Remo misses low and in the dirt to Lundell.
Lundell probably wants to swing here, so we're going to see how disciplined he is about saying, hey, we need a few runs. Let's do whatever's smartest for the team, look for the right pitch, or if I can, get myself back on base.
And Remo comes right back at Lundell with an off-speed pitch that hits the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to the big man. Deuces is his nickname. Again, representing the tying run as the Skyhawks trail 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 out. Runners on the corners. And Lundell way out in front of that off-speed pitch. Swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I wonder if Rivera was told to slow it down, because those have been located well and they're tempting for a guy like Lundell.
Here's the 1-2 from Rivera. Popped straight up in the air. McKinnon Jarvis calling for it. Matt Creer coming in all the way from first to make the catch.
Not always easy to locate, lots of guys to traffic, but you do want it to be the man coming in and usually not the man coming off the mound. So Creer does his job, and not always the easiest thing, and gets the out.
The man who had to travel the furthest came all the way to make that catch, and not only did he make the catch looking up into the gray sky, which is hard to locate the ball in, but also with rain coming down in your face. So hats off to Matt Creer for making the 2nd out on that pop-up.
Now the threat is down to its last out.
Jesse Rowley looks at that pitch from Rivera for a strike, and he goes down 0-1.
This pitch Rivera maybe didn't get a couple times before, and the crowd and himself were not happy about it, but he gets it when it matters, and one strike closer to ending this one and getting a huge victory for the Spanish Fork Dons.
And another curveball comes across the zone. 2 strikes on Rowley.
Rowley had to know that that one was tasty, but cautious with it. It's one you can easily get a stinger on the hands with, get an easy ground out, but now it's time to play defense and somehow try and get himself back in this count and maybe on base.
2 outs, 2 strikes. Here's Rivera. And this one gets through, and a run scores. Jesse Rowley with a 2-out RBI single brings the Skyhawks within 2, 5-3.
We've got a little bit more of a game here. Now the winning run at the plate, the tying run at first base with a little bit of speed there from Jesse Rowley, and we'll see if Rivera can make this work. And Rivera's still got to be thinking, you know, it's 1 out, and he's got forces at all 3 bases. If he can get that ball onto the ground and make it work, but a great hit to the gap right there from Rowley.
Lakota Centeno steps up to the dish, swings at the first pitch. This could be it.
Skies. Oh, there it is.
Shallow fly ball, and Walker Jones does it.
Might have been the first play of the game for Walker Jones. Have to do it second, but he finds it, and those can be tough in the air. The outfielder wasn't quite going to make it, and Spanish Fork out there ready to celebrate. Stellar victory. All around good play, and Rivera's got to be relieved. He gets it in on his hands and gets the pop-up.
So the Dons of Spanish Fork come in to Salem Hills in the Skyhawks' very own backyard and hand them their 3rd loss of the season. And again, the race for top spot in Region 8 play continues to get more intense. We'll be right back with our MVP Sports MVP of the game and a quick recap. Don't go anywhere. We got more to come here on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to SFCN 17's Region 8 coverage. You just saw the Spanish Fork Dons take down the mighty Salem Hills Skyhawks, and it was a really entertaining game. Early on, both teams got a couple of runs in that first inning. Then we saw some stellar pitching, some quick innings from Matt Creer and Riley Pierce, but the team that was able to get back on the board soon and get that lead back was Spanish Fork, and they ran away with this one, still with just the 1 loss in region play, turning things around after a little bit of a rough spot. And of course, with a big victory like this, you have some players who stand out, and right now we present to you our MVP Sports MVP of the game. Brandon, who do we got today?
Well, to me, the standout player is Matt Creer. The 205-pound, 6'2" senior got it done on the mound when his team needed it most today. He had, I believe, 8 strikeouts on the mound. He had a rough first inning when he gave up those 2 runs, but after that he buckled down, got the job done, and not only did he do it on the mound, he did it at the plate as well, putting the bat on the ball and making the Skyhawks make plays on defense, but he also got key runs in key situations. So our MVP of the game goes to Matt Creer. Hats off to you, Matt Creer, and your Spanish Fork Dons for, again, like we said, defeating the Salem Hills Skyhawks and handing them their 3rd loss of the season.
Impressive game. We saw the best of the region here today. We saw Matt Creer come in, and he's usually at first base, a power hitter, pitch so well, and we look forward as this is all going to come down to the wire for this region in the playoffs. We're seeing some great baseball right now. Once again, thank our sponsors, the MVP Sports crew and the Car Guys, and we thank them once again.
And hats off to our crew, both here on site and back in the studio here at Spanish Fork Community Network, Channel 17. Again, if you are a sports fan, baseball fan, keep your eye on this region. Lots of great baseball being played right now, and like you said, Mitch, it's going to come down the wire. It's been a great one here on the campus of Salem Hills. And again, the final score from Salem Hills, the Dons of Spanish Fork 5 and the Skyhawks of Salem Hills 3. For everybody here at Spanish Fork Community Network, I am Brandon Crow saying so long, and we'll see you next time.